I'm Allison for Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, and today let's do a maintenance top knot. So this is one that's a little bit different than my normal Shih Tzu split, and I'll kind of show you why. So let's run through some equipment. So first of all, you need some kind of brushing spray because you never really want to, well, you never want to brush hair that's dry, right? Brushing hair dry is not good. So on a dry coat, you use some kind of spray that cuts down on damage, cuts down on breakage. I like to use some kind of nylon or carbon parting comb. I don't like tail combs that are metal. I like to use a clean pin brush that has, so by clean, I mean, I don't use it for hairspray. I don't use it on dogs that are chalked. I like it to be nice and soft and flexible. The pins don't have any other product in them, and these are 35mm pins. Also important that no pins are pushed in or bent, as that also helps destroy hair. On all of my maintenance top knots, except for some toy poodles, I use the wrapping size band. I don't use a smaller band. Again, a thicker band means less breakage. And I'm gonna use a deep conditioner on this coat as well because she's been rubbing her top knot and she has some dry coat. So this is gonna help restore moisture to that coat. So that's kind of the products that we have going on. Her top knot has been completely brushed out, and I'm taking a wide tooth comb through it. Typically I would use a metal comb like the 004 Poodle comb, but I'm just gonna use my nylon comb for now. You know, I've already combed it out off camera, and it just means one more less thing for me to drop during filming. So between the front of her head and basically the front corner of her ear, she has really thick top knot. You can see that her wrap is already done here. Her ear hair is already wrapped as well and out of the way. So I'm not gonna wrap this coat. She does have this heavy top knot coat. She hates it wrapped. She rubs even more and causes more breakage. So I do a kind of a modified Shih Tzu split. So between the front of her head and the front corner of the ear, I'm gonna make about 3 equal sections. So that means 2 parts. I like my parts to be in a nice straight line across the top of the skull. So I'm gonna go about 1 finger width past the corner of her eye and make this first part. So I like to make it as straight as possible as we go across. The reason is the straighter this line, the less apt it is to kind of go back and forth and cause some extra matting or tangling. And then using my wrapping bands, I am now going to take this and do it about the middle to the end of that first little section that I made. And when I say about the middle, the reason it's about the middle is I kind of offset it on the middle, left and right, to cut down on breakage on that middle line. So I have my first section. I want it back off the eye, and you only take that rubber band around 3 times. If you're taking it around less, it's not going to stay in the top knot very securely. If you're doing it more, the tighter the band, the more apt you are to get breakage. Then, unlike a show top knot, I want this to be, you know, secure, but not nice and tight to her skull. I don't want it to be pulling on her eye in any way. So once I have that section done, I'm going to repeat on the other side. Again, taking my rubber band, pulling it back off the eye, going around 3 times, making sure it's not pulling on that eye in any way. Now I am simply going to ask her to put her head back in this top knot pillow. And then I am, Keeks, there you go. Put your head down, Bubs. There you go. Then I am going to do the next section. So out of this much hair, I want to divide that in half. So I'm just going to take my parting comb and again go from one side of the skull to the other, pull it up, make sure that this is a nice straight line between those 2 sections. Get all the excess hair out of the way. The hair is feeling a little bit dry, so I'm just going to put a little bit more moisture back into it. And again, comb it through, and again, divide it in the middle into 2 sections. Rubber band, and I'm going to take it around this section 3 times. And because this section isn't really nice and straight over here, I'm going to go in and make sure it's all combed nicely. And then my rubber band around 3 times. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this last section of hair. I'm going to be very careful to make sure that I don't have any ear hair in here, because she's very, very picky about that. I'm going to take my rubber band, go around 3 times, and then around this other section 3 times. And there we have our first 6 sections, 3 down each side, all banded, you know, securely, but not tight to the skull, making sure they look kind of nice and even. They're not pulling anywhere. And now we are ready for the next section. So typically in my Shih Tzu split, the first thing I do is I band these 2 sections together. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to move this section up, and I'm just going to band it into the front 2 sections to kind of pull it off her head just a little bit more. I found when I do the Shih Tzu split with just 2 sections together, it was just much too heavy, and it was hanging into her eye and causing her to scratch at her top knot, rub at her top knot even more. I like the bands to be about equal distance apart. However, I'm not doing a fantastic job of demonstrating that today. But again, sometimes your bands look a little bit prettier than they look at other times. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's see if I can get the bands to just look a little bit more even. Then as I take this section up, I'm not going to put another band there and thus make it heavier. I'm just going to band this section straight into here. You notice each time I'm just going around 3 times with my rubber band to make it as secure but not too tight. Don't want to cause that excess baggage, or sorry, excess breakage. So now that I have this all together, we can see what it's looking like. It's off her eyes. It looks nice and even. I'm going to go in with my Miracle Cream just one more time, and I'm going to kind of put some of these broken ends in with my Miracle Cream. And then again, just like I do before I wrap, I like to have some kind of conditioning lotion in the ends of the hair. I do prefer wrapping whenever possible, because then I feel like I'm getting like a hot oil treatment, because the wrapper keeps this conditioner in there. It doesn't dry up and evaporate. So whatever I do for one side, I am going to do for the other side. And just make sure that it's all nice and in there so you have some extra conditioning. And one thing about the deep conditioner, no matter what kind you decide to use, you can add it every day. So if the hair starts looking more dried out, you can just add it back in there. So I hope that you enjoyed just that real life top knot scenario. We're trying to show you, like, in real time, like, not all of our dogs look perfect all the time. You don't have to say, well, her dogs look perfect all the time. No, they rub their coat. They don't like it hanging in their eye. It's dry out, like whatever it might be. So just take it easy, take it one step at a time, add deep conditioning when you can, and good luck with your next top knot. I hope that helped. Don't forget to go to leadingedgedogshow.academy.com to see some of our premium content and webinars where we go in depth on grooming, training, and so much more. Of course, we would love for you to like and subscribe so you don't miss another video here on YouTube. And if there's something that you would like to see that you haven't yet seen on our YouTube channel, of course, just drop it in the comments below and we would be more than happy to bring you that content. So once again, I'm Allison from Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, and I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial.